Hi, this is Joe with Studio Kaiju, and I'm here speaking with one of the most accomplished actresses in Hollywood history, Miss Terry Moore.
Hi there. It's nice to be here and have you here, I should say.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on our site. You started acting when you were 11 years old?
Yes.
In 1940.
In 1940, I will be 83 in January.
A gentleman doesn't ask, so I wasn't going there.
When you hit your 80s, there's no use lying about it, but I still do the LA Marathon.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, you do look beautiful. I mean, especially for 83, you look very, very healthy.
I'm very healthy. I do a boot camp 3 times a week with a captain from West Point. I do yoga twice a week, and on weekends I walk 10 miles.
So when do you plan on stopping?
When I stop, that will be when I'm gone. That will be the end.
So not for some time.
Who knows? I said I'd rather die running for a bus than in a hospital.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your movies. You, as I say, you started when you were 11 years old.
Right.
And so, that's doing the math. That's 7 decades.
That's right. Can you believe it? I can't. I played. It was in a movie called Maryland, and I played Walter Brennan's granddaughter, and I had to ride horseback standing up.
Wow. At 11 years old? At
11 years old, and then I went on to play Cary Grant's daughter, Rita Hayworth's daughter, Ingrid Bergman as a child. I played Victor Mature's daughter, and 10 years later I played opposite him.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I played other stars as children or played their child.
So it's safe to say you've worked with almost every star during Hollywood's golden period.
I did.
So who's your favorite?
Right here. Tyrone Power. He was the kindest, sweetest man I ever met. My mother said to him one day, "You're as beautiful on the inside as you are the outside." And he was a big hero in World War II. He was a Marine pilot. And my friend Nikki Blair, when he went in the Marines, they said, "You're going to be the rear gunner for the best pilot in the Marines," and not because he's a star, Tyrone Power. But he's really nice. I'm really close to his son now, Ty the 5th, I think.
So, well, that's a beautiful story, actually.
Thank you very much. I'm very close to John Wayne. He's my son Stuart's godfather. My son Grant's godfather is Cary Grant, who he was named for.
So Hollywood is...
I played Cary Grant's daughter, too.
Yes. So Hollywood really is you.
Well, it's the only thing I've ever known.
Now, you also... You segued when you married Howard Hughes.
Yes, I did. He was very jealous of me working with anybody but Mickey Rooney. So I did 2 movies with Mickey Rooney at that time.
Okay. So how was he what was Howard like?
Well, it took 2 books. This book, The Beauty and the Billionaire, and this book, The Passions of Howard Hughes, to even let people know a little bit what he was like. It took 2 books to let people know what he was like. Then, and this one, Beauty and the Billionaire, went to number 3. This is my book I just finished writing. There's a lot about Howard and every star I ever knew closely or worked with. And it's stories of what I learned from them about health, staying young. And because the 2 questions people always ask me was, what was Howard Hughes really like? And I said it took 2 books. I show them the 2 books. And then the next question they say, how do you stay so young? So that's all in this book. And you can just go to www.terrymore.com and order this.
Which is a good idea to do, because otherwise you're not going to get the answers from here.
That's right. It takes a long time to answer, but you've got to stay active, and mentally, too. This past week I've read 8 books, so I'm a constant reader, too.
Wow. So you're not planning on stopping?
I'm ready anytime God wants me.
Now, one of your most famous earlier films your leading man wasn't a leading man. He was probably, I'm going to guess, about this tall.
Oh, you're talking about Mighty Joe Young, who ended up being like this tall, right?
So that must have been an interesting experience to work with opposite a miniature animatronic.
Well, I never saw it until I saw the movie.
Ah, they didn't let you see the
No.
what you're working with.
No. I had to use my imagination, but I saw him. He became very real to me, and I still cry when I see the movie.
It's a beautiful film.
It's made by the same people who made King Kong, the original, Chang, Shi, Mighty Joe Young, and Four Feathers.
That was Miriam C. Cooper, I believe.
Right, and the director was Schoedsack, Ernest J. Schoedsack.
Yes, that's correct, yes. You also appeared in the remake, too.
Yes, I just did a cameo. I reached down to get my popcorn, and I missed it.
Do you have any particular, when you work television versus film, did you have any particular preference?
I prefer movies because you have more time. I love to go on locations. I think that's fun. And I do a lot of stage. This year I've done Lady Macbeth and Elizabeth the Queen. I played Queen Elizabeth I. And I still go to the Actors Studio several times a week.
So it's safe to say you're a union member.
Oh, yes. All three. For stage, television, radio, and movies.
Okay. Trying to think how's the best. Okay, yeah, I know what I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure nobody ever asked you about this. You working with Cesar Romero in Batman?
Yes, I worked with him several other times too. I love Caesar. I loved working with him. I loved working with I worked with all the three bad guys: Burgess Meredith and who's played the Riddler.
Frank Gorshin.
Frank Gorshin. I worked with all three of them, and I was bad. I was bad like they were, but Batman didn't realize that for a long time, and I got to change clothes and disguise myself all the way through the movie. I wear different wigs. That was so much fun. I loved doing that.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that I've taken up enough of your time, but I very much enjoyed chatting with you.
Well, I've enjoyed chatting with you anytime, and thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.